Morning, all. All right, so we got 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League. You can see that Licorice is in position, Shadow, but we have 2 games starting at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. One an hour later, and one an hour and a half after that. So we'll start off with the 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start time between Buffalo and Toronto. These teams have already met once this year. That was a crazy one, where Toronto wins 5-4 on November 13th. It's right on the board. Second of 4 meetings. They'll meet again on March 13th as well as April 12th. So for Buffalo, they're 16-30-8. It's been a rough time since the early, pretty good start. Goals for per game, they're 26th in the NHL. They're 29th in goals against per game. Last 10 games, they're 2-7-1. They've lost 6 in a row in regulation. Away from home, they're 8-16-4. So, yeah. Toronto, 35-14-4. Goals scored per game, they're third. Goals against per game, they're 14th. The 10-7 game against Detroit likely increasing that by a little bit. Last 10 games, they're 5-4-1. They've won 3 in a row. So, regardless of the whens and the hows and the whys, they've won 3 in a row. At home, they're 19-5-1. So, pretty decent run for Toronto over their last few. And so, trying to keep that momentum up against Buffalo. It could look like a trap game, but I really don't think so. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start time between St. Louis and the Rangers. Probably game of the night. This might be game of the night as well. So for St. Louis, they're 32-14-6 on the season. They're 5th in goals scored per game. They're 6th in goals against per game. Last 10 games, they're 7-2-1. They've won 4 in a row. So for St. Louis, things are going pretty darn well over the last 4 games. They're 13-8-4 away from home. For the New York Rangers, a little bit tougher time for them. They're 33-15-5 overall. Goals scored per game, they're 20th. So I always show the charts of how Buffalo or the Rangers 5-on-5 are great, all that, and it's like the goal scored per game show you that too. Goals against per game, they're third in the NHL. Last 10 games, they're 5-4-1. They've lost their last 2 in regulation. At home, they're 17-5-3. Their home record's excellent. So this should be a very good game. Good road team, very good home team, and there you go. Then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, you get the LA Kings and the Dallas Stars. I'm surprised this isn't the game being carried by TNT. It's TNT on Wednesdays, right? So the TNT games, I'm pretty sure, are St. Louis and the Rangers, and then Nashville and Seattle. I'm surprised it's not LA and Dallas because this should be a good one. October 22nd, Dallas wins in overtime, 3-2. On December 9th, LA wins 4-0. So this is the third and final meeting between the two. For the Kings, they're 29-18-7. Their goal scoring, they're 18th in goals scored per game. They're 9th in goals against per game, so their goaltending and defense have been very good. Last 10 games, they're 7-2-1. They did lose their last game. That was a huge loss against Boston. You shrug that off. Away from home, they're 15-6-5, so they're actually a bit better on the road than they are at home. For Dallas, they're 29-20-3. They watched the Oilers win last night. Now they got to match that. Goals scored per game, they're 22nd in the NHL, which is why when I hear about the exciting, really, really good attack they have from commentators, I think you haven't really looked at. They can have a great attack, but it's not consistently great. Goals against per game, they're 15th. Last 10 games, they're 6-3-1. They won their last game. At home, they're 19-7-1. So they're very good at home. Kings are pretty good on the road. Again, this could end up being game of the night or this one. Either one should be great. Then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Nashville Predators in against the Seattle Kraken. So I'm wearing Nashville. I think it's pretty obvious Nashville should win this game, but it's a should. October 14th, Seattle goes into Nashville and wins 4-3 for their first win on the road in history. Nashville paid them back by coming to Seattle and winning 4-2 on January 25th. Now this is the rubber match. Nashville should win this. I say that because they're 30-19-4. Their goal scoring per game is 15th in the NHL. Their goals against per game, that's 11th in the NHL. Last 10 games, they're 4-5-1. They lost their last game in regulation. Away from home, they're 15-9-4. They're 1 point ahead of Edmonton, and they're 3 points ahead of Dallas. That's why I think they should win this. And I say that even though, as a Dallas fan, clearly it would be best for the team that I'm rooting for Dallas to win and Nashville to lose, but Nashville's pretty resilient. Seattle 16, 34, and 5 goals scored per game. They're 28th. Goals against per game, they are 26th in the NHL. So just pick them. Last 10 games, they're 2-7 and 1. They lost their last game in regulation. At home, they're 9, 17, and 3. So the numbers for Seattle are not good. I'm not really going out on a limb by wearing Nashville. But as a rule, and I don't know if anybody's picked up on this, as a rule, I do not wear teams I cheer for preview videos. There are small superstitions I still keep. But anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.